Hello and welcome to Universe Mode. This is ECW. We are back once again in Europe, in Leipzig, Germany. I've already made a comment about the football team here, so I can't really nail that one again. But nevertheless, we are on the road to WrestleMania, and we are proving just how worldwide of a phenomenon this universe truly is. Here in Leipzig, here in Germany, as we are now about 2.5 weeks away, I believe, from the grandest stage of them all. Tonight, though, is once again a big night for the ECW brand in a few matches that I set out last week. We're going to see tonight, but I think one of the main matches we're going to see is Cesaro and Seth Rollins, how the tables turn for some reason. Cesaro now, when these two men first feuded, Cesaro was a member of the New World Order and was despised by everyone. Seth Rollins, member of ECW, cheered by everyone. Flash forward to present day, and it seems as if it's the opposite way around, even though in Seth Rollins' case, it shouldn't be. And then, for our main event, Diamond Dallas Page. Oh. Speak of him, I guess, and here he shows up. The ECW champion wanted to make his presence felt here by coming out first. Surprise, surprise, the egotistical maniac that is DDP. Wanting to come out first, wanting to get the sole attention of the crowd here in this arena. That really does not surprise me whatsoever. Let's see what he's got to say on the mic. Oh, poor DDP. I doesn't get why I don't like him. Maybe he should pay attention. Maybe he should pay attention to what happens backstage and, how things take place, and the fact that the way in which he acts is completely just disgusting. And now he wants to comment on the matchup at WrestleMania against Seth Rollins. Now you're stepping into really risky water here, Diamond Dallas Page, because I know, we all know that matchup at WrestleMania is going to be one of your last callings as ECW champion, and that's a fact. That is a fact. You cannot deny it. Seth Rollins is here to redesign, rebuild, and reclaim this brand. And now, DDP saying that he will take any comer. He wants to show just how loyal he is to this brand. He will fight anyone on the ECW roster. This, if you have a brain, you would realize this is just a propaganda ploy by DDP to get people to like him. He wants the support of the ECW fans, I should say, because if he has that, they all look like they're on his side. Look at how great he shows for this brand. He wants to fight anyone. As if, DDP, as if. Trust me, DDP. Seth Rollins will be watching, but not for the reason of studying you, because let's be honest, you got so many holes in your game, we'd have more time picking apart your problems and laughing at them, as opposed to studying you. But best of luck tonight, because I'm sure you're going to need it, Mr. ECW Champion, for the time being. DDP makes his way out of the ring here, and looks like he said we wanted to say whatever at this point. I've stated my opinion on DDP so many times at this point that I would just be beating it into the ground. It's not fun to go on about the fact that I don't like him anymore, because it just bores me at this point. Yeah, I don't like him. At WrestleMania, Seth Rollins is going to take that ECW championship away from him, redesign, rebuild, and reclaim ECW. I have to mention the same old stuff week in and week out, because for whatever reason, DDP keeps on fighting his claims, and for whatever reason, the fans, wherever we go, side with Diamond Dallas Page. It is ridiculous that people still agree with DDP, the most selfish and arrogant man on this roster. To describe what kind of a person DDP is, I'd say it, of course, if you watch Raw, but obviously the ratings say otherwise. It's safe to say that if DDP was to go anywhere after the draft, which of course he probably will be going somewhere because he won't be holding a title, so therefore he won't be able to stay on the roster, DDP would go to Raw. Because DDP is a man of corruption. He is that kind of guy. He doesn't fight for these people. He fights for himself, his own greed, and his own monetary gains. That is who Diamond Dallas Page is. And if you don't believe my word, take the word of numerous other ECW superstars, who I'm going to remain nameless because of the fact that I respect their statements, I respect their honesty, and if they choose to stay anonymous, then stay anonymous they will. But I've had enough talking about DDP. Let's talk about some of the other talent on this great roster, such as this upcoming triple threat match between Tomasso Ciampa, Zack Sabre Jr., and Johnny Gargano. Why is this triple threat happening? Well, it's quite simple, really. These three men I have chosen to represent ECW this Sunday at the King of the Ring pay-per-view. Of course, there's going to be an 8-man tournament at the event to determine who will be King of the Ring. The opportunity of winning King of the Ring is a tremendous one in itself, and the success it's brought last year's winner, Tyler Breeze, proves how astronomical that event is towards providing you future success. I have chosen Tomasso Ciampa, Zack Sabre Jr., and Gargano for this because I believe these three men all have bright futures on this brand. Their stars Their stars shine bright. And that is why they are in this they're in this triple threat matchup. That is why they're going to be representing this brand of the King of the Ring on Sunday. We don't know anything about the other two brands right now, aside from the fact that Kenny Omega is going to be representing SmackDown, but that's about it. Here comes Gargano to the ring. You gotta think, I mean, all three men, you know, they respect one another, they get along with one another, they have no problems, but you gotta expect in this matchup to see some kind of unity between Gargano and Ciampa. There we go, that was the words I was looking for. They're a tag team, they're used to working together, and I think they will try to in this matchup, just to see who has some momentum heading into this Sunday. I think this is one of those key cases where momentum can make or break your performance. If you get a good win here tonight, I think you're going to have all the assets that you need mentally to get yourself into a good stage in the King of the Ring. In fact, I will go out on a limb and say that obviously I think any of these three can win King of the Ring, because otherwise I wouldn't have chosen them for the tournament. But I believe I have enough confidence in my men to say that in some way or another, I'm predicting an ECW final. I think these three men are that talented that they're going to meet each other. Two of these three men are going to meet each other in the final. I believe my word, and I'm going to stand by it. That's how much faith I'm putting in these three right now. This matchup gets underway, and it looks as if Zack Sabre Jr. went for Tomasso Ciampa there, and that didn't work out. Johnny Gargano goes after Sabre Jr. Oh, and goes right for Ciampa as well. Perhaps trying to get a little bit started between those two men. Perhaps they're trying to say there is no alliance in this matchup. They're going all out on the quest to become King of the Ring. Anyway, well, as this matchup gets underway, I would like to talk about what you can expect later on in the card here tonight. Three of the format, two of the matches on this card I advertised last week, so if you did not hear them, I will repeat them, of course. But if you did not see last week's show as well, I highly implore you to go and watch it, as in my opinion, it was a fairly enjoyable show. Because Seth Rollins was on it, obviously. That made no sense, that wasn't English. Seth Rollins was on it, obviously. There you go. Right. What can we see later on tonight? We're going to see, following this, a matchup that I talked about last week. We're going to watch Sheamus take on Baron Corbin. Sheamus had a bit of a problem with Roderick Strong and Arn Anderson of the Four Horsemen. Baron Corbin has stepped up and said if he wants to try and go after the Horsemen, if he wants to try and take care of the Horsemen in his own way, best of luck going through the Lone Wolf. Baron Corbin promises to deliver one hell of a performance tonight in that matchup. Then following that, we've got Konnor against Curtis Axel. The Dirty Heels and the Ascension set to meet next week due to Austin Aries' upcoming matchup with CM Punk at WrestleMania. Therefore, due to this, I've allowed Austin Aries to have the title match a week early. And of course, next week, Austin Aries could become a Grand Slam champion, provided his team wins it. However, to try and further build momentum for the Dirty Heels, the Curtis Axel has to go through the dangerous Konnor, who, as we saw at Bailey Legal, certainly has a mean reputation to him when it comes to one-on-one matches. Then we've got the matchup, of course, that was advertised earlier in Cesaro against Seth Rollins, I should say. And for our main event, as Diamond Dallas Page said earlier, he will take on anyone, anywhere. Well, except for anywhere, obviously, because he wants the main event. But nevertheless, that will be your main event for tonight. I'm looking forward to that one. I have no idea who is going to stand up to take on Diamond Dallas Page. I have not said that. I have not suggested anyone. Seth Rollins could go for it right away if he wants to. Who knows? We'll see what's going to happen regarding that. But you saw there Zack Sabre Jr. taking the opportunity to taunt while Gargano and Ciampa were having a bit of a fight out on the apron. Ciampa trying to take matters into his own hands here by going after both men at the same time. That might backfire on him, though. There's a counter by Sabre Jr. Gargano going to send Zack Sabre Jr., though, back into the turnbuckle. Big boot in the face. I thought DIY were going to have a bit of a work together. They were going to go back to their old tag team ways. Uh-oh, Ciampa now with Gargano hooked in that single leg. Back suplex. Cover here. Is it enough? No. It's not enough in any way, shape, or form. Doesn't even get him a 2 count. Gargano, though, knew what Ciampa was going for. These two men know each other so well. There's a chance that they could meet in the finals due to their expert knowledge in professional wrestling. And it would not surprise me. Johnny Gargano, spin kick to the gut. Here we go. Leaps over in that slice bread maneuver only to send him down into the mat. Zack Sabre Jr. Will he look to pounce? No. He's going to look, though, to go. I mean, if memory serves me correct, this is a throwback to a few weeks ago, maybe. When, Johnny Gargano and Zack Sabre Jr. took each other on. Gargano displayed tremendous heart in that one, but it was Sabre Jr. who picked up the eventual victory. Tomasso Ciampa's taking a moment to stay back here. This is going to look pretty painful. Shoulder breaker. That's a smart move by Gargano. By Zack Sabre Jr. helping to set up for that cross arm breaker. Nice work there. Oh, kick in the leg. Uh-oh, cross arm breaker now. Stitched in. Can Tomasso Ciampa reach the rope? So will he just look to try and go through the pain and try and get out of it? Gargano helping himself up to his feet outside of the ring so he can break up the submission. Save his tag team partner. But of course, in this current matchup, his opponent. Save himself there so he can try and guarantee a victory. Oh, misses that drop kick. Ciampa, though, takes no care. Oh, flew off the top rope there and nailed him with that flying drop kick. Good move by Gargano, taking the initiative right away and going back on offense. Cover here on Ciampa. There is one, and there is two, and it's a kick out. Sabre Jr. recovering on the outside. Will he take it slow or will he go for a quick recovery? Be interesting to see what method he chooses. Ciampa's busted open by those elbows. Another cover here as you see Sabre Jr. rush up to his feet. And it's another 2 count by Gargano. He's continuing offense here on Tomasso Ciampa. Wouldn't have expected this much offense between the two, but perhaps they're trying to say that this Sunday all ties are off, all friendships are out the window if they match up against one another. Look at that there by Sabre Jr. going to work on the arm. Gargano rolls outside of the ring. Smart move. And now Ciampa, he's a bit of a victim to be fair. He's been caught in a lot of maneuvers. But finally, strengthen up a little bit. Takes the brunt of that impact. Responds with a flying drop kick there. Now what will Ciampa look for? Oh God, he might look for the Project Ciampa. Down on a Sabre Jr. Will he nail it? Project Ciampa into the back. Double knees into the back. But Gargano's getting up to his feet on the outside. Will he go for a quick pin? Or will he wait? He'll go for the quick cover. I don't think he saw just how quickly Gargano got back up to his feet. Gargano misses the hit. And Ciampa wins it. A misguided attack there by Gargano gifts Tomasso Ciampa the win. Who would have thought that would have happened? Nevertheless, your winner, the bloody Tomasso Ciampa, who nevertheless has momentum heading into this Sunday's King of the Ring. Will Ciampa go all the way? Will this momentum assist him in becoming the next King of the Ring? We'll find out. It was a good performance, I'd say. Definitely by Sabre Jr. Gargano impressed me as well. Like I said, I think that triple threat helps me to believe even further that I think we're going to see an ECW final. We'll see what happens on the night though, but I do believe that's going to take place. Like I know our next match is going to take place. What a segue. Let's move on though to Sheamus and Baron Corbin. Well, here we go. This is a big horse matchup between these two men. Sheamus, who's had a very outspoken opinion. Ever since I was revealed as general manager, Sheamus took this kind of front-forward initiative to just go after anyone he saw fit. And I got to admit, if that's one way to get a reputation, if that's one way to make some headlines, I like it. I like how Sheamus is willing to not just accept his role on ECW, but he's willing to go out there and show, I'm a man you should pay attention to. I like the initiative of Sheamus, however, he may have bit off more than he can chew, because Baron Corbin is a dangerous, dangerous athlete. I say it every time, and I mean it. Corbin is dangerous. I believe Corbin last week squared off one-on-one against Seth Rollins. He put in a good showing there against Rollins. Hit the #1 contender for the ECW Championship with an end of days. Looked like he may have been closing in on a victory over him, but it was not the case. But that went to show just how impressive Baron Corbin is and how much of a future prospect he is for this year. Why didn't I put Baron Corbin in the King of the Ring tournament? Because I believe that Corbin would walk his way through it. I don't want to put a man in the King of the Ring who's just going to waltz through the competition. Because where's the fun in that? If I wanted that, I'd put Braun Strowman in the King of the Ring. There's no fun in putting these guys in, and I don't know if Corbin would benefit from it really. I think Corbin's got all the tricks of the trade needed to already become a success. The King of the Ring helps you in that mindset. I think Corbin's got that mindset. He's got the attributes as well. All he needs to do is combine it together and become an unstoppable powerhouse on this brand. I like Corbin. I really do, and I call him the future of ECW. I believe, and I said it last week and I'll say it again, himself and Seth Rollins will be colliding for that ECW Championship at some point down the line. The fans certainly believe with me on something, which is a shock considering they love to side with the wrong opinion of Diamond Dallas Page. But nevertheless, they agree with me on the belief of Corbin. They like Corbin. Everywhere we go, Corbin's cheers have been getting bigger and bigger as the Lone Wolf becomes more and more of a success and a likable character with the ECW faithful. So with that being said, Corbin steps up to the plate to take care of some horseman duty. Not always we see Baron Corbin get involved in this. He doesn't always choose to get involved in horseman duty, but when Corbin sees fit, Corbin intervenes. He intervened to save the ECW Tag Team titles from being taken back to the Ascension on the first occasion. And now he intervenes once again here tonight against Sheamus. May not be the proudest member of the Four Horsemen, may not be the most loyal member of the Four Horsemen, but Corbin knows where his roots lie and know where he's found that success. And it's thanks to Arn Anderson and Chris Jericho, and that is who he's defending tonight. The legacy of Arn Anderson, the legacy of the Four Horsemen. And Corbin getting off to a strong start here with 2 strikes across the face there. The former boxer certainly knows a thing or two about how to land a good strike, but Sheamus, the Celtic warrior that he is, the tough man from Ireland who I imagine has been in many a bar brawl, also knows a thing or two about toughness. Wrapped around the throat there, and you see the strength of Sheamus to get out of it, and it's a good thing that the Infinite Warfare version something point something has been updated. Thank you, guys. First off, Ziggler disappears, now you tell me what you're downloading backstage. Maybe that's why the signal goes out on occasions. So far, so good, though, by the production crew this week. Raw went without a hitch, and as it currently stands, so is ECW. Sheamus, though, unloading away on Corbin there with some strikes, but look at how quickly Corbin bounces back on the offense. It's unbelievable. Corbin can just take that kind of damage and just dish it out almost equally, if not as more painful. Nice Falcon Arrow, well, a variation of a Falcon Arrow there by Corbin, kind of just a dropped suplex there, something along those lines. I don't really know how to word it. Corbin now with Sheamus down on the ground, looking to continue to go to work. Down onto the stomach there. Almost below the belt, but Corbin believes that's not the way to go about this. Sheamus, though, right back up to his feet. Again, another man who can embrace the hits and hit back with just as much power, if not more. Sheamus with a cravat neck breaker there onto Corbin. The jolt that must put in your neck, kind of a whiplash effect, I would assume it too. Onto the back of Corbin. You got to think Corbin with that strong stance, his back would be in a bit of pain, I would imagine. And going to the back, that helps. And of course, if you choose to go for the high cross, that is going to help you out as well. Also may take away Corbin's ability to nail power maneuvers and the eventual end of days. Baron Corbin trying to slow down the pace. Wrench on the neck. They're trying to soften up Sheamus. And okay, here we go. Corbin to the second rope. Corbin looked for some kind of elbow across the face, but he was never going to hit that. Sheamus is too quick on the ground, which is saying something, especially for a big man. But look at the strength there of Corbin to get out of that. Triple elbows into the face. Baron Corbin now doesn't take the initiative, doesn't take the advantage. Reverses that there into a forearm. And now we might see another power move. How does Corbin do something like that to someone of equal weight like Sheamus is? This goes to show you the power that this man possesses. Keeping Sheamus down on the ground right now. Very tactically thought. Very well thought out here. Sheamus, though, looking to try and take some control back. Has him up in that fireman's carry position again and again. Another rolling sent on for the Lone Wolf. Sheamus just trying to go through the motions here. Move after move. And he is definitely holding in on that back right now of Baron Corbin. Into the turnbuckle. Sheamus with... Oh! You saw the power there he put winding up into that lariat. Has to be of significant pain. And look at this. Just back to some similar moves. Backbreaker, suplex, all those kind of moves. Oh, put himself right into that one. And Sheamus there, the former ECW and WWE champion, knows how to counter a move or two. And that is the danger of Sheamus. Those strikes when you least expect it. Like we saw right there. Sheamus now. Irish Curse backbreaker maybe. No. Corbin with some good reversals there. A good elbow to get him out of it. Baron Corbin. End of days to Sheamus. Cover. Can he get a big win here? There's one. No. It's only a 1 count. Very early on, I think Sheamus's kind of barrier, his pain withstantial is... I think he's still got it. Baron Corbin now has him up on his shoulders. Sheamus stuck up there. And a Samoan drop for his troubles. I think Sheamus unable to respond right now. Maybe a bit dazed following that end of days. Nice elbow there by Baron Corbin, who seems like he's getting fired up in the turnbuckle. The crowd's certainly on his side right now. How will he look to try and further his impact here? This has been mostly Baron Corbin's match. Like I said, Sheamus definitely may have bit off more than he can chew as he goes magma. Magma. Sheamus definitely needs to get something going here, and he does. Swipes the leg away there. Smart thinking by Sheamus. Clubbing blow across the head. Trying to soften up that head, I assume. Maybe he thinks that the bro kick might be the best way to go about it. But Corbin's technical reversals getting better and better day by day. We talk about DDP and how he's becoming a better technical wrestler. How he's training to become one of the best. Baron Corbin is doing the same. And Baron Corbin, with the guidance of 2 incredible technical wrestlers in Arn Anderson and Chris Jericho, has certainly gone the right way about it. Sheamus now looking for the Celtic Cross or something like that. I can't remember which one it's called, but he spikes him there. Not only on his head, but on that back, which he has harnessed right throughout this match. There's a cover on Corbin, and it's a... Wow! Holy shit! What a win for Sheamus. I am very stunned here. I mean, perhaps all the work done on the back just maybe was too much for Corbin. I am very, very surprised. I honestly thought that he had bitten off more than he can chew. And I thought this was Baron Corbin's matchup. Oh, Sheamus isn't done. He's sending a message like he sent with Arn Anderson. Like he's... Oh, here we go. It's back to the same old by Sheamus. A message for the sake of sending a message. Sheamus has him up on his shoulders in that crucifix position. It's going to be the Celtic Cross for Baron Corbin. Down onto the mat. Sheamus always looks to leave an impact. And the former ECW and WWE champion trying to say that after WrestleMania, he wants a marquee spot on this roster. And if that's how he wants to act, then so be it. I'm attacking some of my top talent. I could reprimand Sheamus if I wanted to. I'm not too sure what I'll do though, but with a win like that for Sheamus, maybe next week I'll give him a big opportunity. We'll see what happens later on tonight, but wow, what a win for the Celtic Warrior. Fair play to him. And not too sure what's going on there, but all that's left for Sheamus at this point is Chris Jericho, and he's beaten every member of the Four Horsemen. Maybe I'll set that up next week. Maybe that's the matchup to go for. I don't know, but we're gonna move on to our next contest here. It's Konnor against Curtis Axel. Still very stunned by that. Well, with one upset already being caused, I'm wondering if another one can happen. Can Curtis Axel knock off Konnor? That's not meant as any disrespect to Curtis Axel, but that performance of Bailey Legal by Konnor, I would be worried if I was Curtis Axel heading towards that ring. It seems as if Axel still with the brimming of confidence that he has, the dirty heels ready for next week. Axel looking to become a 2-3-time ECW Tag Team Champion, which I think would break the record. I believe so. And Austin Aries looking to do it all, looking to become the Grand Slam champion and win something like his 6th championship in this universe. Let me think. No, wait. 2-time world champion, 7th championship in this universe. That's got to be one. That has got to be one of, if not the highest amount of titles won by someone in this universe. I'm trying to think. The person I think would come closest is Kevin Owens with 5 titles. Punk only has 3. Bryan with 3 World Tag Team title reigns. 1 and 2. He's on 6. Bryan comes closest then, I believe, with 6. But Austin Aries, yeah, they're tied right now. There you go. Austin Aries are going to try and pull ahead of Daniel Bryan and make it number 7. However, he's got to be reliant upon his tag team partner as well in Curtis Axel if the Dirty Heels want to pick up a win over this team. A team that once again here in Germany is looking to rise. It's the Ascension. After Viktor's loss last week, you got to think there's kind of an air of worry maybe in the mind of the Ascension, because yes, they are a dominant tag team. Yes, they are the ECW Tag Team Champions, but the last time they headed in with a little doubt, a little problem, a little insignificant issue, we'll name it. They lost their tag team titles to the Four Horsemen. The Ascension probably do not want a repeat of that, and so they would probably rely on Konnor getting a dominant win here tonight to kind of push over the loss of Viktor. That being said, though, Viktor did still lose his matchup. On paper, it goes down as a loss, and maybe that gives Viktor some worries in self-consciously, maybe. Maybe he believes that if Aries can beat me in a singles matchup, maybe he can beat me with the titles on the line. Maybe he can pin me and we lose our titles once more. Who knows? But right now it's this matchup, Konnor and Curtis Axel. When Konnor was pitted 2-1 against the Four Horsemen at Bailey Legal, it looked like it was over for them. It looked like the Four Horsemen were going to regain those tag team titles. But Konnor, in the midst of a minute, went from being 2-1 down to retaining those ECW tag team titles. I'm telling you, I think somewhere down the line, Konnor may actually find success as a singles wrestler. He's dominant. He's scary. You never know. You never, ever know with this universe. Anything could happen. Knee to the chest there by Curtis Axel. 2-time ECW Tag Team Champion Axel is, once with his father, Mr. Perfect. The other time, if memory serves me correct, was with EC3. Yes, in the latter stages of the 1%ers, a team that flourished with Brodus Clay as an EC3 together, and a team that floundered. However, Curtis Axel has achieved significant success. Of course, at WrestleMania last year, he beat EC3, ending his undefeated streak in a singles competition. Oh, what a clothesline there by Konnor. It was just a shame that the ECW committee at the time did not capitalize on this and did not allow further success for Curtis Axel. Cover here by Konnor following that T-bone suplex, trying to put away Curtis Axel, but the... Oh, thank you once again, production staff. So you're not causing the signal to go up, but you are letting me know when you are downloading. That's very effective. Thank you. Nice counter there by Konnor. Punching the gun. Anyway, as I was saying, he didn't get the push forward that he may have deserved, I believe. But then again, he was in a difficult time because ECW was going up against the NWO, and it may have been a difficult time for Curtis Axel to break in. But I always believed that Axel, and I said this, I always thought Axel had links with the NWO, but it seemed not to be. It seemed as if he was just doing them a favor. He certainly agreed with their beliefs. But that's all in the past right now. We have to look forward to the present and the future. And the future may be that in a few seconds, Curtis Axel's going to lose to Konnor. There's the full Nelson slam. Cover here. Aries doesn't know how to react on the outside. It's a quick pin, and it's a quick win for the Ascension. That was dominant. That was the dominant win that Konnor needed. He put him to rest in an instant. And there you have it. Your winner here is Konnor. Does that build momentum for the Ascension heading into this Sunday shimmy? Does it build the momentum heading into, not this Sunday, next week? Will the Ascension hold on to those ECW Tag Team titles and continue their dominant reign? Or is that man on the outside who currently has his back turned to Konnor set for a Grand Slam Championship? And is Curtis Axel ready to become a record-breaking 3-time ECW Tag Team Champion? We'll find out next week in what will surely be one hell of a contest. But for now, we gotta move on. We gotta move on to our next matchup. Sheamus. Nope. Cesaro versus Seth Rollins. We're taking a little old path down memory lane in a way with one of ECW's most heated rivalries, Cesaro and Seth Rollins. But like I said earlier in the night, the roles are switched. They're reversed. The crowd side with Cesaro, who is of course gearing up for that incredible matchup, which I'm looking forward to, between himself and Wade Barrett at WrestleMania for the ECW Television Championship. Where Seth Rollins, of course, is gearing up for a marquee match with Diamond Dallas Page, just #1 contender against #1 contender. And who knows, maybe later on tonight it could be champion against champion, with DDP and Wade Barrett squaring off. You never know. All depends on who wants to step up to that affair. But Cesaro heads towards the ring. Might be at a bit of a loss here due to, I should say, loss of confidence due to the tag team loss suffered last week between himself and Neville against the team of Sheamus and Wade Barrett. I would like to announce as well, speaking of Sheamus, that next week Sheamus will be taking on Chris Jericho, and I have put a stipulation in place that if Sheamus beats Jericho, I promise him he will be next in line for a title shot of his choosing. That is a promise, and I am putting my stamp down on it for Sheamus. Anyway, here comes the man who may be Sheamus's next opponent for a title, Seth Rollins, who last week was unmistaken to be blindsided by Diamond Dallas Page for unknown reasons, undefined reasons, cowardly reasons is what I'd like to use. Do you want to know what the difference is between the attack on Rollins last week and the attack on DDP at the Royal Rumble? Rollins was to send a message. Rollins was to show just how much of a scum DDP is. It was to get the chains moving. It was to get the wheels rolling. Diamond Dallas Page was the act of a coward because he is scared about the outcome of WrestleMania. He is scared because he knows he's 2.5 weeks away from losing an ECW championship that he doesn't deserve. I hate to say it because Page as a wrestler is great, but he is a placeholder at this point for Seth Rollins, who will make history at WrestleMania, become the first ever 2-time ECW champion. I am telling you that DDP is scared heading into that event. He is scared heading into WrestleMania because he knows the outcome. He can see it already. He can see the success Seth Rollins is going to bring to this brand. And Diamond Dallas Page is jealous. His ego is hurt that it's not him who gets to bring home that success. Yes, Diamond Dallas Page helped to kill the NWO. Yes, Diamond Dallas Page helped to bring this brand back. What he also helped to develop was an ego. An ego that has damaged his reputation and has on numerous occasions almost damaged this roster as a whole. That will not happen to Seth Rollins. With Rollins at the helm and myself behind the scenes in charge of this brand, I can guarantee you we're in for one great ride for the foreseeable future. Seth Rollins, meanwhile, possessing strength that you'd expect to see from Cesaro. Two of the arguably greatest pound-for-pound wrestlers on the planet today, going at it one-on-one. Two former ECW champions as well. Both men possess incredible reigns. We got the third longest reigning ECW champion in Rollins, and the fourth longest reigning champion in Cesaro. Cesaro, who held it for, if my memory serves me correct, around about 5 months. I think he clocked in, though, at something about 160 days, if I remember rightly. Something close to that. Seth Rollins held the title for 6 months and clocked in at exactly as close to half a year as you can get, basically, at 182 days. Seth Rollins there. Oh! Using anything he can to his advantage. The crowd here obviously going to be on the side of Cesaro. Not only, well, I mean, I think one of the main reasons is how close we are to Cesaro's homeland of Switzerland. But of course, for whatever reason, the crowd continue to side against my beliefs, continue to side against the knowledge that Seth Rollins is the man to lead this roster into the foreseeable future, into the rest of 2017, into this brand split era. And I'm telling you, it's going to become more than just a brand split when Rollins is in charge. It's kind of been neck and neck really all the way. Raw is starting to sag behind because it deserves to, because it's got a man who believes in corruption at the helm. But once Rollins is in charge, I'm telling you, it will stop being a brand... Wow, okay, nice work there, Rollins. It will stop being a brand split because this whole little close race will just stop happening. ECW will split away from its competition and run off into the sunset to take a commanding lead and leave the other two rosters in the dust, to a point that they'll be begging for Seth Rollins on their roster. They'll be begging for ECW superstars to appear on their show because they're desperate for those ratings. And it's a good thing because I am desperate to watch them fail, especially Monday Night Raw. Seth Rollins, I got to admit, he's been holding his own here, certainly against Cesaro in this contest. You got to give it credit where credit's due. Kick in the chest there by Seth Rollins, who wants to take flight. Oh, the Meteora there off the top rope. Double knees. Seth Rollins might go for the first cover of the match here. Here it is. Doesn't hook the legs. Might be his downfall. Cesaro powers out at 2. These two men have had numerous classics over the last 2 years, really. And we could be in the midst of seeing another one here tonight. Elbow to the top of the head by Seth Rollins. And Cesaro now. Pop up. Uppercut into the chest. Rollins has felt that on all too many occasions. Although the previous times it was into the jaw. Breaking Rollins' jaw on 2 occasions. And putting him out of action. Continued to fight though, did Seth Rollins. And at least Cesaro, in its midst to become more respected by the crowd and more respected by the WWE, by the ECW fans, has dropped that down to the chest, just causing pain in the match and not putting a superstar out on the injury line. I mean, it killed Magnus, for crying out loud. Sometimes moves just can't be allowed when they're that dangerous. Seth Rollins here trying to take any initiative he can. Counter by Cesaro as he sent to the turnbuckle. Cesaro looking to take action, looking to take any method he can to win. This is going to be dangerous. This is going to hurt for both sides. Down onto the floor. Superplex to the outside. Onto that thin padding. And it looks as if Rollins' leg may have collided into the barricade on the way down. I'm not too sure. Both men hit hard. Cesaro forcing himself up to his feet so he can take some kind of initiative, some kind of control here. Rollins is not moving right now. Maybe in a lot of trouble. Back in the ring we go. Cesaro going to look for the cover here. No, Rollins moves out of the way almost instantly. Rollins now rolls through here. Rollins, super kick. The Avara Kedavra, which busts open Wade Barrett. My goodness, is Rollins really trying to go into his own here. But Cesaro fights back once more. Back and forth matchup between the two here. Neither party's able to gain a clear advantage. Rollins there able to get his leg underneath the ropes, forcing the break. Knee into the face. Will the blood dripping down Cesaro's face affect him here? Will he be at a disadvantage due to this? Double foot stomp into the chest there. That has got to take a lot of wind out of you. Cesaro doing a really strong job here, keeping him on the ground. And now just kind of literally rubbing it into his face. And an elbow drop to the back. Finally, he gets up to his feet. Finally, Rollins trying to get something going here. Double spin kick into the gut. Seth Rollins, though, reversed by Cesaro. But it's a back and forth. It's a back and forth here between both men. Refusing to give in. Refusing to let the other one have power. This is a great back and forth test between the other two. Oh! German suplex may have brought an end to that one, though. As has this. Another one into the chest. Rollins down. Will he be out? Cesaro, though, feeling some sort of effect. Maybe feeling some blood loss. I'm not too sure. Taking the opportunity to taunt. The crowd is loving him right now, as they would. The near hometown advantage that he has. Proving success, I would argue. Rollins certainly taken aback by this. I don't think he expected Cesaro to have so much of an impact due to the matchup last week. Good counter there by Rollins. He continues here with these simple strikes. Maybe this was why. Oh, no. No, I think this was why. Cesaro lands on his feet on the outside, but you know what's incoming. Seth Rollins is... He's scoping out the situation. Rollins is going to go for it. Seth Rollins to fly. Suicide dive by Rollins. And both men down on the outside. Nasty landing for Cesaro. Nasty landing for Rollins. Both men down. Can either of them capitalize here? Rollins up to his feet first. Trying to hope for something here, but it's Cesaro who gets up. How does Cesaro manage this? Is unbeknownst to me. Rollins swipes the leg away there. And the count begins. A simple reversal then. It looks as if Cesaro is taking some time to get back up to his feet. Perhaps trying to use a ball of the count to try and recover. Perhaps trying to make sure that he is in peak shape when he gets back into the ring. This is also allowing Rollins to recover, though, so it may not be his smartest idea. Back in the ring now, both men get. Spin kick misses by Rollins. Cravat suplex here. Oh! Stiff landing for the Architect. Uh-oh. Never want to be happy when you get flipped onto your stomach with Cesaro. We could see a tremendous feat of strength. Oh, he's going to go for the arm. Perhaps noticing that Seth Rollins likes to use that new finishing maneuver of his. I might be trying to stop it. Speak of it. Rollins plants him down with it. The cover by Seth to win this contest. 1, 2, and it's no. That far shoulder there barely lifted up by Cesaro, but it's a 2 count. Cesaro fights back there, right across the face and into the gut there. Quick strikes by Cesaro, but he's coming back. Not the way I would have gone for it if I was Cesaro. I would have gone fast-paced there. Rollins might be worn out from hitting that DDT of his. And Rollins going to leap. Oh! Crash and burn for both men, who are both down right now. Rollins really quickly up to his feet there. Fair play to him. You're getting up at such a rate of knots. Cesaro might be on some kind of... might be going backwards here. Wait a minute. Seth Rollins, for whatever reason, trying to argue with the official here. Rollins seems to be complaining about something on the outside a second. He's brought the referee outside of the ring and... hang on. Through the crowd. I don't even know where, but through the crowd came Wade Barrett just out of nowhere. Barrett leaps into the ring. Wade Barrett with the opportunity. With the referee's back turned, he nails Seth Rollins with a bull hammer. Look at this, right into the side of the head for Cesaro. The ref's back is turned. He's not even aware. Seth Rollins kept him distracted from what's going on. And now, Rollins returns to the ring. What did I am stunned by what I just saw. I swear to God, those guys were working together on this one. Rollins there with a facebuster DDT and the cover. 1, 2, 3. Seth Rollins beats Cesaro. But once again, there's an air of controversy surrounding Cesaro and Wade Barrett. I don't know if that was some kind of initiative between the two. I don't know if they were on the same page for that part or not. I don't know if that was thought out backstage, but it clearly seems as if Wade Barrett wants to leave an impact on his #1 contender ahead of their matchup, and Seth Rollins benefits with it. Single underhook facebuster and brought down Cesaro there for the 1-2-3. Seth Rollins wins, but under controversial circumstances. Who knows if that was a plan or not, but whatever it was, Wade Barrett sent a rocketing message with that bullhammer right across the face. Right, well, now we move on to our main event of the evening. Diamond Dallas Page challenging anyone in the back to face him. Will it be Wade Barrett? Maybe. I don't know. Let's see who's going to square off against the ECW champion. Well, here we go. Diamond Dallas Page wanted this matchup, and now DDP is going to get this one. In the case of Sheamus earlier tonight, I said, had he bitten off more than he can chew, but he proved me wrong. Is this the same situation for DDP? And will he, like the Celtic Warrior, prove me wrong? Will he defeat whoever he's set out to face him? Can Diamond Dallas Page make me look like a bit of a fool in front of this crowd? I don't know. I mean, he's not really making me look like a fool because he's the one who wanted this matchup. He'd be making himself look like a fool if he loses, though, that's for sure. But nevertheless, DDP looks to continue building momentum. His opponent at WrestleMania won under controversial circumstances right now. So can a win for DDP give him better momentum maybe? Can a clean win over his opponent give him some further momentum heading into WrestleMania? I'm not too sure. Let's see who he's going to be facing. Oh no. Oh no, don't. Oh. This is not. Oh. This is not who you wanted. For the first time since Bailey Legal, Braun Strowman returns. Oh, good God. What a astronomical failure by Diamond Dallas Page this is. I know he was probably expecting someone to show up, someone challenging, someone threatening. But I don't think in his wildest imaginations he was expecting Braun Strowman. Ladies and gentlemen, the Black Sheep, arguably the most dominant man, the scariest man in this universe as a whole right now. Braun is a threatening persona. And he is getting ready to square off with Diamond Dallas Page. Just in case you don't think the mask is scary enough. The man behind that mask is ready to put a lifetime of hurt onto you. There he is. That's the man who beat Baron Corbin in a war at Bailey Legal. And this is the man who, I'm going to say it, stands one hell of a chance of beating DDP here tonight. He can look confident, he can try and be cocky with that smirk on his face, but seriously, Page, realize the situation you are in. Realize the problems that face you. He gets off to a great start there with that slam, but that may be the entirety of your offense in this match. That may be all you get in, because that may be all Braun Strowman wants you to get in. That with one little strike there, didn't even fully hit its target. DDP hits the mat hard. DDP tries something there, but Braun is just launching him down like he's nothing. And you saw Page there upon impact try and catch his breath for a moment. Page here trying to fight. It's a reversal though by Strowman. Look at those stomps now. Wow, okay, so look at that stump. Look at those stumps. It's one of them. That's smart by DDP. I'll give him credit there. Attacking the base point of Braun. That's smart, but going for a cover right after it, that is not. Look at how quickly Braun there hopped up to his feet. That's what is so scary about this man. Just how quick he is as well for his height. Sidewalk slam there for DDP. Oh no. This is not where you want to be. You don't want to be in the clutches here. Incoming powerbomb for the ECW champion, who is just dumped on his back. Braun usually likes to interrupt the match or fill in the spot for an opponent, even though they don't ask for it. But in this situation, it was first come, first serve. Braun Strowman stepped up to the plate, and Braun Strowman is taking his own initiative here. Whether or not this is for Bray Wyatt, who knows? Braun Strowman, though, is taking it right now to the ECW champion. There's a reversal by Braun. Got out of that front face lock with ease. It didn't even look like he tried to get out of that one. Oh no, Braun with a choke slam maybe incoming. Good counter by Page. Will Page try and lift him up? Best of luck. Wasn't going to work there. And Strowman shrugs him off like he's nothing. Braun Strowman with the power to just dump DDP there on his head. Ref, get out of the way, seriously. Do not get anywhere near Strowman for your own health and safety. Oh! A jumping splash in the turnbuckle. And Diamond Dallas Page is in big trouble. Braun Strowman with a power slam. Look at how easily he held him up there and dumps him down with that power slam. Is this the biggest win of Braun Strowman's career on the way? Is he ready to knock off Page? There's 1, 2, 3. What a win for Braun Strowman. What a monumental achievement for this man. He beat the ECW champion, and he beat him without breaking a single sweat. And hang on, what? That's Seth Rollins' theme. Rollins just belted it down the entrance ramp, and he's going after Braun Strowman now. For whatever reason, Rollins is trying to defend the man who will be challenging for the ECW Championship. Rollins going after Braun Strowman and sends him outside of the ring. Seth Rollins may have protected DDP from oh god, he may have protected DDP from further problems, but he's just walked into one of his own. Bray Wyatt from seemingly out of nowhere. He drives that big knee down into the gut of Rollins. It's complete calamity here between the Wyatt family and the least likely of partners. But we gotta go. We're out of time here in ECW. We'll see you next week.